If you started all over again, what advice would you give yourself?
Wow, that is really good. Number one, I would tell myself to think long term, not short term. It's not about the next house. It's about building great relationships with enough people.
Yeah.
Because that is what really sustains as an agent. That's what really sustains you through thick and thin. So you're always in. Oh, your lights just went out. That's fine. Look, the interview's so good, it just turned the lights out. No, but what happens is, if you think long term and you think about building a business and you follow the red book, I'll show you that. People always ask me what I'm reading, and I give them a slew of books, but I'm always reading this book. And if you notice, this is my 13th copy. This is my cell phone number if you need it. And so, but I wear the covers off these. I still go have them bound for, it's gone up. It was $4 when I started. It's now $9 to get this book bound.
How many times have you read that, Marc?
It's funny for me. I'm a faith-based person, and I grew up Southern Baptist, and so I've always had some version of a Bible around. And so I blasphemously call this the real estate Bible, because after I've read it cover to cover 10 times, I now treat it like, hey, I want to know more about the lead generation aspects of the business, and to be able to coach someone. And I'll go to page 137, right? Yeah. And then I'll find our lead generation model. Or I'll be talking to somebody about their org chart, and I'll say, hey, let's go to page 273 and let me show you the org chart in our book. I treat it more like, I treat my Bible, where I'm going specifically for different thoughts, different wisdom around how to build a business. But I have no way to know how many times I've actually read it cover to cover. Here's the crazy thing. So I challenged all of our technology people a couple of years ago to reread the MREA cover to cover, but from their technology perspective, because all the tech people that came in didn't necessarily know the real estate business, and real estate business people didn't necessarily know the technology. So I wanted them to think of this as their software manual for what they were building.
Yeah. And
it's fascinating, the ahas that came out of that. So when we say our technology was built by agents for agents, it was built by agents for agents from technologists who were studying real estate. So that's a cool piece of that. But what happens, here's what I did. I read it with them, and there were 4 or 5 times I was like, how did that get in the book? I've never read that before. Mm-hmm. And what it told me, Claire, is I'm getting senile. That's what it told me. Because there was like 4 or 5 times, and so much so that I asked Jay Papazan, I was like, hey, has this always been there? And he's like, of course it has. I'm like, okay. So it is just me. But yeah, it's something that I live in. And I'm so excited that if you know these models and systems, you can absolutely go change your place in this world in our company.
100%. I'm only on my 3rd time of reading it. I've got a long way to go before I'm anywhere near the master that you are, but I just love it.
I thought of something else that's really important and near and dear to my heart, and that is think of your real estate. Real estate is a cyclical business, and so you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your good months, your bad months, your good 6 months, your bad 6 months, your good years, your bad years. Hopefully not your bad decades, but you're going to have runs where you start to question things, and the value of longevity. In a lot of ways, this business is a war of attrition, right? It's how long can you last in your community as a real estate agent kind of thing. And if you do the right things, you'll build a top business and you'll last forever. So sticking it out over time really matters. Well, how do you do that? What I learned early on, because I'm someone who was triggered by financial concerns because I grew up so poor. Yeah. And I don't want a bill collector calling. I don't want debt. I don't want any of those things. So not only do I have massive amounts of savings accounts because I'm afraid of going 6 months without a paycheck still to this day. And so I've built an emergency fund that's earning 0 interest and not there to earn interest. But I also learned early on that if I wanted to be a great agent and build a great business, I had to first get control of my own financial habits. So to do that, I started teaching wealth building in our company. And so we teach how to invest, how to get out of debt, how to invest in real estate, all those things. And that part is so important. And I reached a point in 2016 where my passive income for my real estate investments and my profit share was more than my monthly bills to live. And you talk about, the the road I've been on to the role that I happen to be in today, that might be the single most important piece of it. Because once I got there, my career kind of went like that. Because again, fearless of rejection. You're not going to hurt my feelings by not listing with me. I've gone through worse, right? Finally get my finances in order so that no matter what happens, I can go make great decisions. I can hire people when I need to hire people, you know, for my real estate business. And once I got my personal finances under control, then all of a sudden business, you know, was much easier, and it was much, and I didn't even think about the ups and downs anymore, to be honest, because they're all ups from here.
Yeah. I mean, this is so much more than just a self-employed estate agency model, isn't it? I mean, just with what you're talking, this is, and it's not even just a platform for you to be able to run your own business. It's so much more than that. It's teachings on wealth building. This is a wealth model, isn't it?
It's personal development. And that is, look, I think we could, here's a good idea, Claire. We should take this to Gary.
Sure.
Tomorrow we could stop selling real estate and we could start selling fill in the blank eyeglasses. And that's probably a bad example. We could sell cars. Mm-hmm. And I believe we would be just as successful in any product and service that we provide. We could sell financial services, right? We could turn into a mortgage company overnight and sell loans instead of houses. And I believe this company would go on to be number one in whatever space that was, because it's not about the fact that we actually sell houses. It's about the human beings that we help grow up together with. I'm a great example of that. You're a great example of that. It's about the personal development, the leadership growth. It's about developing humans to have amazing, great lives. You know, our mission statement is to have lives worth living. Well, what does that mean? It's to have businesses worth owning. It's to have careers worth having, right? Legacies worth leaving, experiences worth giving. That's what we're all about. And I get it. It sounds a little bit, airy fairy, if you will, but hey, I love being weird, and we're from Austin, so keep Austin weird. It's about who you become.
Well, it's that life by design, isn't it? It's building a life on your terms, how you want it to be. And that's what I love about being here, that, nobody's dictating to me how I do it, what I do, when I do it. It's all based on my goals, what I want to achieve for me and my family. And then we just have some fantastic tools that help me to stay focused on what I need to do to get there. And lots of wonderful people around me holding me accountable to that, which I'm forever grateful for. I'm going to ask you one more question. It might be two. One more, I think.
Whatever you need.
Thank you. So we want to go out there and dominate in the fourth quarter, right? We're coming to the end now. What would you do?